Here it is. It's Grammy week here in New York City, and the thing about our show is it's every week's Grammy week. We have the best guests, we have the best music, the best artists always rolling through here year round. But this weekend here in New York City is a very special weekend, and I was weirded out to find out you guys aren't sticking around. You're going back to Nashville.
We could stick around, man, if we find the right excuse. If anybody out there has a good excuse for us, I feel like we can find some tequila in New York City.
We got lots of that.
Yeah.
We got a little bit left.
Seriously. It was neat because you always have an excuse. Putting out a song called Tequila was the greatest thing that we've ever done in our lives.
Like, what fringe benefits has this brought to you?
Tequila.
Look for our next single called Cash. Cars is coming after that, so stay tuned.
Porsche.
Really good stuff.
Yeah. Porsche, Audi. We got all these songs coming out.
There you go.
New houses, exactly.
Now,
new house.
Speaking of like big events coming up, of course we have the Super Bowl this weekend. Dan, did you tweeted that you're more excited about the episode of This Is Us?
I really am.
After the Super Bowl.
I'm kind of heartbroken. I'm from Pittsburgh. I'm a Steelers fan, so I apologize to
my house too.
Everybody who I offended by saying that. But we played halftime show at the Steelers-Jaguars playoff game. I mean, we took them for granted. I think the Steelers may have as well. We got up there. We're like celebrating like we're going to be, taking a victory home. Steelers lost. And we were there. I mean, it was literally 5 degrees outside. We were freezing. So that hurt a little bit more. So, I don't know. I mean, the Eagles are in the Super Bowl. You got to root for Pennsylvania, I guess. But,
but wait, like you could use some tequila over there, Dan. Starting to shed a tear.
Back to what she was saying, though. This Is Us.
Yes.
You said you're more excited about This Is Us than the actual Super Bowl. And, of course, they're playing This Is Us after the Super Bowl, which I think is a genius
We were
move.
talking about it last night when we got to New York. That's like going to be the biggest episode of TV ever. Of all time. It's crazy. And I think this is the one. If anybody out there watches This Is Us, this is the reveal.
Are you totally up to date on it?
Oh, yeah.
Are you ever going to use Are you going to use a crock pot ever again?
We were talking about it last night.
What do you guys talk? What do you mean?
Nothing.
People are boycotting.
Everything's great.
Dan actually he revealed it to me because I was watching. I'm like a couple episodes back and I didn't know what happened. And so he was like, I just feel ridiculous even saying what it was, like how it happened. And he told me because I had to. We got tequila in the house.
So go finish your story.
But it was like when he told me that it was devastating because I had to know after that. Whenever he says, "Yeah, I can't even believe like how it happened," and we're driving to New York City to our hotel. And I'm like, you can't just say that and then let it be. I'm not about to live my life without being able to see that. You just got to tell me. So he told me. So I still have to catch up, but yeah.
What is it about the show that you love? Because it's so sad and everybody cries every week. Like, what is it that draws you in?
It is really sad. My wife is so emotional, and I look over, she's just bawling the whole time. Our 3 dogs are like laying on her, she's cuddling. It's I don't know, the show, it's amazing. The stories are just, it's like real life stuff, and the way it's shot and edited, and it's amazing song conversation. When you go to write a song the day after This Is Us, I feel like you always get a good song.
Yeah.
It's really good stuff. So.
Usually a sad song.
Yeah.
It really is. It's the country music of TV shows.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is.
I feel like people want to feel something, even if it's a sad emotion, feeling something kind of reminds us of our humanity a little bit. So it kind of, every time I watch it, especially since becoming a dad, I got a little 1-year-old, and ever since I had a baby, I'm the most emotional wreck you ever seen. I'm in Facebook like 2 a.m. in my bunk on the bus, just watching like Facebook videos. And
You
just
should have
like
seen him during Jumanji.
the most randoms, like this dog was found in in this alley. You'll never believe what happens next. And you're like,
watch it. See,
and I watch, I'm crying.
No, here's the thing: when you see those videos queued up on Facebook or Instagram, whatever, when you push play, where it's going to go. You know what it's going to do. You're asking for it every single time. And sometimes I think they're fake. Do you remember that song called "Christmas Shoes"?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, there was no story. There was no real woman. There was no mother who was dying, so our little kid couldn't afford shoes for Christmas. But they designed that song to make us cry. Here, we're going to give you your own crock pot.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Oh my God.
That's incredible. At least it's not from the neighbors down the street.
No.
It's not used. It's
And if
perfect.
the cord starts to fray, stop using it.
Yeah.
True. This is a nice one. I actually bought my mom a crock pot for Christmas a few years back, and I went.
Is her house still standing? Is it all good?
It's actually not. I don't know. This is a really nice one.
Anna, actually, our friend that I was talking about the sparkling water earlier, she actually got us a crock pot for my wedding.
That's
my
amazing.
wedding gifts. So, yeah.
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
It keeps on giving.
All right, so here's another thing. Before we open the tequila, we have 2. We have Casa Dragones, which is the best sipping tequila in the world. This was signed just for me.
Nice.
That's amazing.
And here's some. This is Clase Azul, which is it's inferior to.
Call that the old blue and silver.
Yeah, you can
That's
turn this
amazing.
into a lamp.
It doesn't actually have like a name. It's old blue and
Hey,
silver.
congrats on Hall of Fame.
Oh, thank you.
It's
That's
unbelievable.
amazing.
This
That's
is what we're
awesome.
drinking for.
I'm an an H of effer, as they call it.
I like it. I like it.
Here's one of the things I think I love most about you guys, Dan and Shay. You're friends, and you're on this journey together. And I think I don't know if this is ever brought up in conversations with you. I know we always talk about your music, your families, touring, your albums, but you're friends, and you're on this incredible rocket ship together. Are you enjoying each other as friends? And what's the journey like doing it together?
Should we not be holding hands for this?
Yeah, we're holding hands on the table.
No, it's incredible, man. I mean, it's to get to enjoy to get to play music and travel the world is just absolutely incredible. But to get to see it with your best friend is amazing. I mean, getting on stage, getting to share the moments, like when cool stuff happens, or we put out a song, or we're here on the Elvis Duran show. It's like we get to come to New York City, and we get to hang out. It's sometimes it makes the nights later because we're out rocking. We feed off of each other's energy, but. It's if times are tough, if we're out, grinding or not sleeping or whatever, it's like we get through it together. But when things are amazing, it's like you get to share it with somebody.
To share those moments.
Cool.
The highs are higher and the lows aren't as low, But it is. I think we tricked a lot of people coming up in this business when we started out and we started writing songs, and we still can't believe that. We get to do this for a living because it's like, all right, we wrote some songs and now we get to do this. It's just the craziest thing. So
somebody's gonna pinch us and wake us up with a really bad tequila hangover, and none of this will ever happen.
I'm gonna be devastated.
All
right, here we go.
So I didn't get a cup for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah,
what
what's up with
Yours
that?
comes straight from the bottle.
Didn't get a cup.
Guess I'll just drink it out of the bottle.
I just thought of a new song. Christmas Shoes is a great. That song makes me cry. But Christmas Booze would be pretty good too.
Christmas
Can I
booze.
buy these booze for my mama, please? Daddy
Excellent.
says there's not much time. You go on. I mean, she's gonna get sober soon.
Well, let's talk about tequila. I mean, tequila. It got its own song. This is, of course, your tequila is not the first tequila song to ever be recorded. There's a couple others, but this is. What is it about tequila versus vodka versus gin versus beer versus champagne? What is it about tequila makes it deserve this song?
I think first of all, Dan started drinking tequila. We started drinking tequila because it was the healthiest of tequilas.
Well, speaking of those viral Facebook things, it's like drink tequila. What happens next will amaze you, and it's like 36 health benefits of tequila.
Yeah.
And we started looking that up, and we're like, well, this seems like a good option. We're gonna drink anyways on the road, so we switched to tequila, and we haven't looked back.
I like our solution. We were like, man, we gotta stop, drinking so much beer. Our solution wasn't to stop drinking. It was we should drink tequila instead.
Yeah.
That was our solution.
That was the savior. The thing about tequila, it makes you take your clothes off. It makes you see things that aren't there.
It does.
I remember one night, we all have our tequila story. The thing that made us say for a year, we'll never drink tequila again. But then we started, we eased it back in. I was at a friend's party, and I had to go to the bathroom. I had to just do number one. I had to pee, but I had to sit down because I couldn't stand.
That's amazing.
As I was sitting on my friend's toilet, I looked across and there was a magazine, and Gorbachev, who was running Russia, right? I don't know. The president of Russia, right? Gorbachev. He was on Time magazine. He started floating across the room. I kid you not. I was reaching out, trying to catch him.
No.
And at that point, I realized the next morning, waking up in a pool of vomit. I'm never going to drink.
Dark times.
I'm never going to drink tequila again.
And yet here you are.
Brutal.
I'll be right back.
Was that this? Yeah. What kind of tequila were you drinking? I'd like to try that out.
The cheap stuff.
The cheap stuff.
My
Oh,
friend,
man.
my
That's
friend's
amazing.
slogan for her life is, and yet here we are, because every bad decision she said she was never going to make again, she's made, and yet here she is. And
That's a solid thing to say. Like
Yep.
you could use it for any situation.
And yet
Like
here
That's a
we are.
song. Well, let's
Yeah,
write that
there you
song.
go.
We'll write it today.
it's not going to get Doritos. Here we are
It's
again.
not that we love alcohol too much, but we do have our own bartender, Uncle Johnny.
Yeah, tequila's good for you.
I like it. Come on.
Uncle Johnny, it's kept him alive all these
It
years.
kept me alive all these years.
You should use that every day. Like here
I'm
we
the
are again.
grandfather here.
See, Uncle Johnny, he comes with his own. He's like a marsupial, but
Yeah.
rather than keeping his joints in his pocket, he keeps them under his
Under my
hairpiece.
hair.
That's
I'm old
solid.
and gay, and I wear a toupee. My teeth come out, and I can't see. I'm fine.
You're doing great. You're doing great.
He's doing okay.
Here you are again.
If
Why
you-
aren't you drinking tequila with us?
I mean, Uncle Johnny is pickled. That's how
Keep
he's
the man a
lasted
glass.
so many years. Okay, so there's obviously tequila is from a forthcoming album, as we say. Is the album done? Are we going to see it anytime soon?
We're working on it. We got a lot of stuff recorded. We wrote 100 songs for this record. It's crazy. Nashville people crank out the songs like mad, but we got a lot of stuff in the works, and I'm not sure how we're going to release it yet. We're trying to figure that out. I feel like Drake just dropped 2 songs the other day. People are getting more creative with how they release their music. So
Right.
we're trying to think we got to drink more tequila to figure it out. But there'll be an album of some sorts here soon. But we've got a lot of music ready for the fans, and we'll send it to you first.
Does it still freak you out when you see one of your songs, like Tequila, for instance? You watch it go up the charts. I mean,
It's insane.
Are you as amazed as your fans are to see the success of your work?
I think every time, I mean, as an artist, you hope, but you never expect, I mean, and you get to do this thing and you get to write songs, and then you watch it from the process of like the writing and then the recording, and then you see it, you hear it on the radio and you see fans singing back the words. We watch it very closely. It's hard not to. If you get addicted to the chart, it's very difficult to get off that, because you're just watching and you're like, oh my gosh, every day. It's like, hopefully it climbs up a little bit more.
It's been insane to watch this song, though. Whenever we released it, it went #1 on country charts, and then it went into the all genres. So we're sitting there with like Bruno Mars and Justin Timberlake and these guys who have worldwide success. It was pretty surreal to see that. Just this song that I remember singing the vocals at my house. Shay came over, we sang it all at my house, and it's like to watch that process, from a little Pro Tools file on my laptop get to all these people is just absolutely insane. So it's surreal to watch. It's a dream come true.
We were drinking tequila that night. I hope that we don't wake up back in the studio.
Yeah. I don't know.
Remember that time that we went on Elvis Duran show? No, I don't.
And there's something insane about hearing your song on the radio too. I mean, that's just like a whole nother level. Because radio, growing up listening to the radio, you hear songs and you're like, wow, those guys must be like not even real humans. It's just like people idolize people who are talking on the radio and songs that are played on the radio. So when your song makes it onto the radio, it's hard. There's so many people writing songs and recording songs, but when you finally get one on the air, it's like, I don't know, we geek out about it. It's amazing.
And you should. And you deserve every square inch of accolade that comes your way. If you're going to look at the charts, if you're going to look at the success of you in this business, the music business, if another artist next to you was having the same success, you would look at them and say to yourself, wow, they're very successful. I'm really impressed. Can you actually look in a mirror and say, you're on fire?
I usually look at myself in the mirror and I say, here we are again.
Yeah, no, seriously. I mean, if you were an outsider admiring your success, you would be very, very, very impressed. Would you not?
It's true. It's very. We've got a few songs about that on our new project, but it's a thing that kind of as artists like drives us crazy sometimes. And having your best friend with you helps. It's like, dude, this is awesome. Like we should appreciate this moment when the song's on the chart or whatever. But it's just human nature to compare yourself to other people, and it's never. You get one song on the chart, you're like, well, the other one let's get the next one up faster. Let's get more sales on this or whatever. You sell out one place and it's like, well, we should have done 2 nights. It's just human nature to be like that. It's tough, but we're learning. We're getting better about appreciating the moments and telling each other like, dude, our song is like on the charts right now. Our song's on the radio. This is amazing. Let's like enjoy this moment while we have it.
You should.
Yeah.
Make no mistake about it. You work hard. You've long late nights when you're out on the road. You leave your families behind. Mm-hmm. You've got to sit in front of a piece of paper with a pen, and sometimes maybe have a little block, and you can't get the words to come out. Whatever. This is not always as glamorous as non-musicians believe it to be, but. Do you ever stop down and do the reality check where you say, God, I'm the most blessed person on earth to be able to do what I can do with the gift that God gave me?
Absolutely.
And be successful at it.
It's every day. I mean, I try to stop myself, and especially now, having a kid definitely puts your life into perspective real quick. And we're just so thankful to be able to do this for a living, because Dan and I, we grew up doing this music thing and trying to, record songs and write. And in this moment, you work really, really hard and you do it every single day. And other people see it, like you said, before you do, the success. And it's a really crazy thing, because, your friends are like, man, I heard you on this thing, and you're out there, you're like, well, we played 250 shows this year. I haven't been home, So it is really cool to be able to kind of wake up every day and be like, man, and you have to do it, just like, thank you. Like, I can't believe that I get to do this for a living. It's just absolutely amazing. And, looking at yourself in the mirror, you're like, gosh, why do people want to listen to this guy? Because I see behind the scenes of us, and, fame is all perception anyway. And we're just a couple of guys that love to write music and, love music. So we're just fans, and to be able to do this and, be on the other side is just a crazy thing. And I can't believe it. And we feel blessed every single day to be able to do it. And guys like you for supporting us, man. We wouldn't be able to do it without you and without the fans. It's awesome.
there has to be something incredibly validating and to have your music accepted by so many people. You suddenly see firsthand that there's a community of people who feel exactly the way you do about something, right? Like
cool.
when you write
It's
a
really
song
cool.
and maybe you're bearing your heart in this song, here's a whole like arena of people who feel the exact same way you do. Does that hit you?
It
ever in
really
those
does.
moments?
It really does. I mean, this era we're releasing music in is also a lot different too because there's social media. So you've got the instant validation. You release a song at midnight and you see people at your Twitter and Instagram and Facebook blowing up, and that's really cool to be able to. I mean, sometimes there'll be a couple that sneak in there like, "This is the worst thing I've ever heard," but it's like you try to ignore those guys. But having fans hit you up on social media and being able to, the gap between the artist and the fan is minimized now. So to be able to share those moments, whether it's like you said in an arena where everybody's singing along together, there's a lot of crazy things going on in the world these days, and it's like people can come together around music. We feel like at a concert is like a place where people should be happy. Spreading love and just, we love music. We still are fans. Like every chance we get, so much music. When we come to New York, we go out and see shows. When we're in Nashville, we see shows. And, we finish writing a song and it's like, oh, well, it's 5 o'clock. We should go grab some tequila and then go to a show. There's a show every single night in Nashville. Yeah. It's just like New York. But, it's really cool for people to come together around, a specific song or a band. It's amazing. So
you should go see Marshmello in Brooklyn tonight.
You going?
I really, if you go, I'm going.
That's
that could be our excuse.
We're looking for an excuse to stay.
They're looking for
Here
an
we
excuse.
are again. Okay.
They got families at home, but hey, one more night won't hurt.
Marshmello was awesome. There was actually there's a girl that came. We had Halloween at my house for the very first time this year. It was my first time living in a neighborhood, and I'd never, handed out candy. So we went all out. Like I dressed up as Buzz Lightyear, and my wife was it Jessie? Yeah.
Yeah, Jessie.
And my little baby was one of the little Martians. So we were handing out candy, and this girl comes up, and she had she was full dressed out as Marshmello had.
Cool.
It was pretty dope. And she came up, and she was like, she didn't have her her helmet on, and she was like, she didn't even ask. She was telling everyone, she's like, I'm Marshmello Head. I was like, awesome. You should put it on.
Marshmello, he's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet.
Really?
But I was telling them earlier,
awesome.
I just never, ever want him to take his head off. I just want that relationship with him with his head on.
Yeah, it's incredible.
One time he went to grab it to take it off. I was like, no.
Yeah.
Dan and I early on thought about going mask.
There needs to be a mask artist in country.
There's not one.
We could be those guys.
You do.
We can start.
What if we did?
This is the reveal.
All right, well, Dan and Shay, an album to be determined. It's going to come out eventually, but we know Tequila's definitely the anchor on it so far, anyway.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you guys, man. Thank y'all for playing the song and for spreading the word.
Without a doubt.
Awesome.
Dan and Shay, thank you so much.
Thank you.